Formative Assessment Design Plan. Step 7. Set proficiency criteria and decide how to gather the data. For each of the 7 steps, we are using the Research in Common Formative Assessment Toolkit for Professional Learning Communities at Work by Kim Bailey and Chris Jakasik. We have also worked to align this to PARA, or Student Learning Outcomes, SLOs. This will assure that we are meeting both criteria when administering and using data from our formative assessments. In Step 7, you will discuss what proficiency will look like on your PLC-created formative assessments. A key question is what level of performance will indicate that students are meeting grade level expectations, or proficiency. We will begin with selected response questions, also known as multiple choice, true-false, short answer, or fill in the blank. Decide how many correct responses students must have for each learning target. For example, if 4 multiple choice questions are given, you will want students to have at least 3 correct to demonstrate proficiency on that skill. When using performance assessment, constructed and extended written response items, a common rubric must be used and inter-rater reliability must be established. In this case, your PLC may determine that on a 4-point rubric, a level 3 will be considered proficient. If a reminder on how to create a rubric would be helpful, please refer to Step 5, Write the Assessment folder. There will also be more information regarding rubrics in the next few months as we continue to refine our skills. An analytic rubric is used to evaluate each criteria or trait of the student work sample or performance task separately, to analyze student learning in a more specific way. This will allow you to determine exactly what areas of learning individual students need, leading to effective differentiation for those requiring additional time and support. After agreeing to criteria, next your PLC will determine when the formative assessment will be administered. If it is a common formative assessment, they should be administered within a week's time. For PARA purposes, however, these need to occur on the same day. At this point, your PLC must also agree to the date that all scored and organized data will be brought to PLC for analysis. Once assessments are collected, teachers will score them individually using the agreed-upon criteria and organize students for differentiation using a chart such as the one seen in this slide. This chart allows us to focus on our PLC questions. What do students know? Who needs more support? And who needs enrichment for the identified learning target? By organizing your data prior to your PLC meeting, you will have a more effective and efficient discussion in your PLC meetings, allowing you to focus on student learning and growth. As a reminder, PLCs are expected to administer, analyze, and refine instruction twice each semester using formative assessments. Final thoughts about the 7-step protocol for developing an assessment. By thoughtfully designing assessments around specific learning targets and gathering and analyzing the data, your team will know exactly what your students have learned and what they are still experiencing difficulty understanding. This allows you to develop a strong instructional response to assure that the additional time and support you give to students will meet their learning needs, as well as to inform and revise instruction. We will learn more about differentiating instruction based on formative assessments later in the year. After all, this is our SIP goal. To B04, teachers differentiate instruction based on assessment results to provide support for some students and enhanced learning opportunities for others. Additional resources are available on the next slide.